What's going on, everybody? Brian O. Hunt for the Good Stuff, back with another episode here in sunny Coral Springs. We're over in the Everglades right now. If a crocodile hops out of there, takes my leg off, tell my story, will you? This week we're over at a place called TRP Taste. Super interesting concept. Literally, it's the chef preparing a meal for a handful of people. You have the one counter, which is like a dozen seats more or less, and then you have this other long table in the back. You get to see everything prepared right in front of you, have a conversation with the chef, and just kind of see what her inspiration is overall. This was a Napa Valley tasting menu, which is one of my personal favorites because I spent about 3 years in Napa Valley. So like I said, this was a tasting menu experience, so every respective course has a beautiful glass of wine attached to it. Starting off, they went with a lamb tartare, so basically kind of like a raw preparation, properly spiced. They add a little bit of an earthy element to it, so there's a bunch of beets in the character. Thin slices, there's actually the flavor embedded within the tartare itself, gives it an additional color, and that earthiness that pokes through is really something special. Mustard accents the dish in different forms. You have mustard flowers, also mustard grain, adds a little bit of an acidity that's a welcomed addition. Also on the side, you have toast points, so you just want to layer this stuff on top, take a bite, get on with the next one. In the Napa Valley, San Francisco, there's basically a tether there. It's like an hour to get from one location to the other, so it's kind of an overall experience. Now, in between the two, they have Oyster Farm. So basically, on a nice summer day, you go over there with a couple buddies, get yourself a bottle of bubbles, maybe two, and you enjoy the experience. You could get the grilled oysters, the raw ones, whatever you'd like. So this is a play off of that. It's a bed of salt, accented with a couple different color components, and then the two oysters on top. Now, where it becomes a little interesting, there's actually a foie gras component on top. They kind of have a barbecued essence to it, but that foam adds this like rich, delicious, deep flavor that otherwise wouldn't exist in an oyster. Normally you just kind of get that briny, fresh flavor. This adds another layer of complexity to it. There's a mignonette, which adds a little bit of acidity. It comes together beautifully. Muscadet is the pairing, which washes away that flavor just perfectly. And on the next course, we had the roasted wild mushrooms. The mushrooms, delicious in their own right. Cook them down with a little butter, oil, salt. They come out delicious. You let the product speak for itself. Now, where it kind of gets kicked into the next gear and really put into the next level is the Homboldt Foie goat cheese. Adds a deep richness, nice fatty component, really plays with everything else in the dish. So you need some sweet stuff. What do you got? You got cranberries, you got pears. They add a little bit of bite and texture to the dish as well, and on the base is an onion soubise. Now this is paired with Stag's Leap Chardonnay. Stag's Leap has a couple different products in their lineup. Chardonnay is one of the things they produce best, and the wine helps usher in those flavors and really extend that tasting experience. Now, next in line, halibut. Halibut is one of my favorite fishes to enjoy pretty much anywhere. Now, don't get me wrong, I like a laundry list of different items, but what I like about it, it's generally pretty tall, towering, thick, almost eats like a steak. That's actually why my girl likes it. She doesn't like fish, but this one, she actually enjoyed. Now, layered on top of it, it's almost like a shredded potato, treated almost like a fancy hash brown. On the bottom, you have a pea component, which comes in a pea emulsion. There's also carrots and a sunchoke puree. Sunchokes, people don't really recognize them too often. They're also known as Jerusalem artichokes, but when you cook them down with a little butter, gets really deep and rich with the flavors. That's offset with the Sauvignon Blanc, which was the pairing for that respective course. Next course, truffle steak au poivre. So you had a New York strip steak cooked to a rare with the au poivre sauce layered on top. A nice generous flavor of black peppercorns within that sauce, because that's characteristically what it is. Gulf red potatoes to check off the category of the potato. Also asparagus, little thin shavings of black truffle, Syrah to pair with it. You got to complete the experience with a dessert. This particular dessert was a beautiful helping of minted cream, a little bit of a ginger snap component to really get all of those baking spices in your diet, and also cherries. Cherries livens things up with the sweetness, the acidity, also the bite. The dish was very well prepared. That was paired with Moet and Chandon Imperial Bubbles, a little bit of sparkling wine. They actually presented it in kind of like a coupette with ice cubes as well. So it was nice, refreshing, great way to kind of cleanse your palate and send you off with a wonderful story to tell. Conceptually, TRP Taste is a pop-up. It's basically a test kitchen when all said and done. So you get to create all these different experiences for people, and you get to kind of label them with kind of like a broad idea. So we were there for the Napa Valley tasting. They're also doing like a Carnival tasting, and also they have the Puerto Rican menu coming up pretty soon. And if you're over there enjoying an experience, or if you're not, just know that they have Rooftop One on the roof. Get yourself a nice cocktail, get a nice view of the city. Great place to be. Definitely enjoy that as well. And as always, my people, you keep watching, I'm gonna keep hunting. I'm gonna see you soon, okay?